Hello everyone. I not plan to make yet another Starstreams, Arcadia Starstreams video before the 29th, May 29th, but I have some new information that I wanted to share with you before that date. In order for you to understand what this is all about, you really do need to watch at least the third Starstreams video. On YouTube, you can just type in Arcadia, Arcadia, Starstreams, and you will come up with all of them, I assume. And the third one is, I guess, the one that will really kind of capsule it all if you don't want to watch all three of them. So that said, very, very in brief, the Arcadia Starstreams that are coming through from 3 points in the universe into our planet on May 29th are entering in the Mongolia area. They're coming into the center of the Earth, and then they're coming up from the central Senatoma through Uluru in Australia, which Thoth had told me has a crack, a portal that is like a crack. It's sort of half open, and it's going to be opened wider so that the full transmission of these Starstream energies can come through it, coming back up from the center of the planet, and then spread out on the Earth and into all the major portals. The quantum mechanics of that was given on the other three Starstreams videos, so I'm not going into that here, but that's the very simple. So, it's coming up, it's coming up on May 29th, and I found this the other day. Here we have an article, Powerful Earthquake Recorded in Australia's Northern Territory. Now this happened on the 21st. Today is the 23rd. I created the videos quite a bit before then. Quake with magnitude of 5.9 detected in nation's desert center early on Saturday. The long and the short of it is, it was centered 460 km southwest of the outback town of Alice Springs and close to Uluru, formerly known as Ayers Rock. I think that's kind of all we need to know about it. I confirmed with my Inner Planes mentor Thoth, who's given me this information about the whole Arcadia Starstreams, that indeed this was opening the crack, so to speak, in Uluru for the presentation of these Starstreams coming up. Or at least it was one phase of that. So I find this pretty dramatic because they don't have that size earthquakes right next to Uluru all the time. Just as a matter of coincidence, it's rather large that it would happen at this time. And anyway, that is what I have received on it, that it is indeed part of the whole process that Thoth is calling the Arcadia Starstreams and their insertion into the planet, which is not about just leaving something in the Earth and that's it. It's about a continuous streaming that will continue for a long time, possibly through Light Principle 40 or the Ascension portal time, whenever that is. So that is one thing that I wanted to share with you. The other is the importance that the cetaceans, especially the dolphins and whales, will play in this whole presentation to the planet, this whole dynamic. And that's why I'm sitting here in a New Earth Star Sanctuary right next to my little dolphin friend, frolicking around in the waters behind me. I was told, and indeed shown, how the dolphins and whales, each in their own capacity, will help spread this energy across the surface of the planet and touches onto the portals, which then takes it in. You see, I can see it in my mind. It's a specific dynamic. And if you see the Earth as having a thin membrane around it, an invisible membrane of like a transport for energy. There's other dynamics in the Earth, of course, that align with energy going into the Earth and all of these things, but there is like an energetic membrane around the planet, very, very close to the surface. I say very close. I don't know how close, but it's certainly well within our atmosphere. When you're in the ocean, for instance, it's there. Okay, so the connection is like sort of like shrink wrap. It's just right there, on the surface. So when the reason the energies aren't just coming into the Earth and that's it, because there's a whole dynamic involved that allows this transportation of energy and this continuation and circulation of the energy into the circulatory system of the Earth. It has to go through a specific channel if it's coming from stellar coordinates. And that is the channel it uses. It goes down into the Earth, it comes back up, comes out again through the various places that it's intended to. In this case, it's Uluru. And then it has to be sent like a current of energy, like a ripple effect over the shrink wrap of the Earth, the very top layer of this membrane. Then all the portals are literally like blowholes, and they can breathe it in and breathe it out again. The dolphins, with their holographic brains that are really far more advanced than ours in that way, and also the whales, theirs aren't quite as holographic, but they have the undertones. They have the ability to roll the sounds, to pick up the vibrations of sound that it emits and roll it into a deeper, extremely low frequency. Is that ELF frequency? And which is needed to paste it into what is the word I want to use? To map it onto the surface of the Earth. And then it goes deeply in at that point. So the dolphins use the holograph more, the whales use the sound more. They're both using both, but they're really more specialized in one and the other. And together they pattern it into the planet. Now, this isn't the first time that I've sort of heard of this kind of thing. In regard to many years ago, Thoth spoke about the second moon. He insists we've had 2 moons with this planet, and the other moon that was destroyed, I don't know exactly how. He never told me, but it just blew up, I guess. And that the fragments of it landed on the planet, and the dolphins somehow took the codes out of those fragments and moved them into some kind of format that allows our Earth to still maintain the essential codes that moon contained. I'm not really that versed on what happened, and I do have some material I wrote on it that would make a lot more sense, but I don't know where that is right now. So I'm just kind of skipping over the surface of that for you. In any case, I do know that the dolphins and the whales work with a lot of these coordinates with the planet. And so now he's telling me this, which I hadn't even considered as I was making the Arcadia Starstreams videos, the previous ones. But the other night, he just gave it to me. He said, this needs to be included. Now, other than just being interesting, the reason he wanted it included primarily was because all of us can attune to the dolphins and the whales during this period of time. And in doing so and asking them to allow us to ride with them through this process, it amplifies for us the receipt of these signals into the DNA. So, in your own way, you might wish to follow that attunement. You know, there are so many, many dynamics going on with the planet and the stellar coordinates and all of these things. And many people are bringing these out every day. You know, you see something that, oh, this is happening or that's happening. And I can't, you know, it's not up to me to validate or invalidate how many of those things are actual or fantasized, and what is fantasy, you know? I mean, I'm not going to get into all of that because here I sit telling you all this stuff. I don't know where it's coming from, really, you know? So I'm not going to get into trying to be a vet, all those things. I'm just saying that we have to think that certainly a large number of them have truth to them. I mean, just by understanding the laws of cosmogenics just in principle, and we know what's going on now, that a lot of what we're reading from these sources, these channels, are probably quite true. At least they have a great deal of validity in them. We all of us who channel, so to speak, are receiving things through our own lenses. So that is going to color them a little bit. I don't think it off-colors them. It just kind of colors them. You know, there are exceptions. I read some really crazy things out there that are very personalized and glorifying things, you know. But that's rare, really. I don't see that much. Mostly the things that I read, I feel have some validity to them, at least some, and maybe a lot. So the reason I'm saying all that is because when we look at a program like this, we assume is happening for the planet, and I, you know, in my personal little bubble, I assume that it is, because I've been receiving these things for, oh gosh, over 50 years now, off and on, and so many of them have seemed to have a lot of valid coordinations with other things happening and experiencing, even like this earthquake thing that suddenly happened, right on cue. So I have to assume that I'm not just spinning my wheels here, that there is something to this. And, you know, maybe you're receiving something. Maybe you are going to write it out and put it on video and all of this, but, you know, you may be receiving things that are quite valid and quite part of the bigger picture. So the question looms, well, why is there so much? You know, it's just like so much. This is happening, that is happening, the other is happening. It's all so important. Well, it is important. Because if we were to go into the human body, like, you know, like a little microbe or whatever, going in there and being able to catalog all the functions of the human body, let's just say all the functions of an ant, we would be overwhelmed with all the incredible things going on in there to make that little ant do what it does, or to enable it to do what it does. Think of the human body even more so. So we're in a microcosmic creation that stretches ad infinitum. And we are going through a process here that is preparing us for what Thoth puts in our language, moving from a world system 1 to a world system 2. Big deal. So there's got to be a lot going on, you know? And we don't have to keep track of it all or accept everything we read that people think are happening or hear or look at. But by allowing it to move through us and saying, I resonate with this. I don't know that I resonate with that. There's no make wrong here. You just, you know, receive what you resonate with. And that's the way we move through this together. And not just what you're getting from other people, what you're getting from yourself as well. It's very important. It's the most important thing, in fact. So I believe I will conclude, because I don't want to make this too long. It's easier to watch that way. I hope that all of you that are watching this, that feel so guided, will be joining me and others in just simply holding the tone and moving into the experience on May 29th, whenever May 29th pops up on your calendar, if you're on the other side of the world from me. And just, you know, go as guided into your feeling body about it, even if it's just taking a few moments of silence, you know, to contemplate it. Whatever feels right to you. If you want to do a really nice, fine ceremony, maybe out in nature with crystals and whatever, that's great. If you feel like, just doing some chanting, listening to some meditative music, or just saying, wow, I just feel this. Okay, now let me get on with my day. Whatever works for you. But some kind of acknowledgement of this process and the receipt of it into your deep DNA consciousness. And so I guess that's it for now. Aloha to all of you.